Amy is finally getting a taste of her own medicine. We are talking a full role reversal, and somehow you're getting the perspective from a blind man on a visual topic. Yep, this is the Sonic X Obsession AU. The Sonic X Obsession AU is a comic with only a few parts out as of this video, and it's already had quite a few frightening impressions with its clever use of psychological horror. Horror that takes a few forms throughout this comic. We begin the comic with Amy using the One Wish Willow to wish for one thing: for Sonic to love her more than anyone in the world. Immediately, the wish takes place, as Sonic arrives at her door only a few seconds later. However, it also quickly becomes very evident that something is wrong, as Sonic can't even remember that this is Amy's home, let alone the names of the creatures that he typically saves. A decent start, one that I find a bit uncomfortable. The conversation between Sonic and Amy here already shows hints of what is to come. The dubbed versions actually add to the effectiveness of this conversation, as in one of them, Sonic acts very uncomfortable around Amy, almost bashful, which immediately gives off that something is wrong, as he never acts like this. You can hear in his dialogue how even he seems pretty confused by his behavior. What makes it worse is it's hard to tell, was that Sonic acting confused, or the wish? The story continues with Sonic taking Amy to a secret place that he likes, one that provides a perfect view of the city, the stars, and the moon. This scene becomes uncomfortable in two ways, and it all results from him revealing that it is a secret place that not even Tails is aware of. This provides a massive amount of discomfort, as there is a distinct lack of control. And what makes it worse is this scene feels like an absolute violation of privacy, as if not even the reader is supposed to see this. Amy actually goes through a very similar situation, as we'll soon see. The story soon continues, with Amy growing more and more uncomfortable the longer the conversation goes. At one point, Sonic even pleads for help, at which the Willow adds on to the sentence in order to cover it up. Eventually, Amy has had enough and decides she's tired and would like to go home. Sonic offers for her to sleep there, but she denies him, beginning to leave. Sonic goes into hysterics at this point, pleading and asking about what he's going to do until the next time they can meet up. In the dub, his voice expresses extreme desperation, as he's very persistent with asking Amy when they can meet up. When Amy tells him 6, he immediately bursts out 6, not being happy with the answer. Sonic, being unsatisfied, decides to run Amy home against her wishes. Things only get worse from here, as Amy grows more and more concerned with what it was she did exactly, noting Sonic's unusual physical affection on top of the things he says. What is interesting yet very horrifying at the same time is both characters are now essentially trapped, one by someone else's decision, the other by their own decision. The psychological effects here are very intense. Sonic's fear arising from watching his body do things against his will. In Amy, things might feel a bit uncanny for her as she watches somebody she knows doing things that they normally would never do. And things continue to get worse yet again, as Amy wakes in the middle of the night to find Sonic in her room. Once again, that lack of control with a huge violation of privacy. It's something that becomes very uncomfortable when I really think about it. What becomes more frightening is the fact that the willow pulls emotional tricks to keep the situation stabilized. Sonic begins to cry, complaining about how cold it is outside and being alone, having nowhere else to go. Even going as far as to mention his family being gone. This causes Amy to relax, even if only slightly. Though that is immediately shut down as Sonic, with no hesitation, asks Amy to marry him right then and there. Soon their conversation ends with them both agreeing to have Sonic sleep there in the house, on the couch. And as far as I've seen, it ends with Sonic saying goodnight, over and over again. Presumably to hear Amy's voice with each reply. This story is quite disturbing so far. Not in the gore-filled way, but in the subtle, psychological way. As you see Sonic, a symbol of freedom, caged within his own body. And Amy, who idolizes that freedom, trapped within the decision she made to wish for Sonic to love her more than anyone else. One can only wonder just how bad will things get by the end of this story.